Well, greetings interwebs. Today, we're going to try an old Southern classic. Chicken or rice. You can't go wrong. It's inexpensive, not a whole lot of ingredients, not a lot of cooking skills required, but it's delicious, nutritious, and will feed a lot of people. So, let's get to it, shall we? Okay, so here's what we're working with. This is fairly simple. Chicken thighs, a little garlic salt, some salt and pepper, minced garlic, onion, scallions. Yeah, see? Easy cheesy. Okay, for starters, a pot. I mean, that's kind of a given. Let me just put in 4 chicken thighs. I prefer chicken thighs because better flavor, more juicy. I just like them better. Now, thing to remember, we're going to be putting a lot of rice in here with it. So meter the amount of water you put in, because the more water you put in, the more rice you got to put in, the bigger the pot full is going to be. And if you're not making for a couple of people, you're going to wind up with enough to feed, 5 or 6 people. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of leftovers, but it might be too much. So, okay, salt. Remember, you're putting a lot of rice in, so you want to put a lot of salt in. Because even though it's maybe a little too salty, as soon as you start cooking all that rice, yeah, it's going to soak up all the salt, and then suddenly it won't be salty enough. Garlic salt, it's just me. You can if you want. I put a nice little smattering. And that, and besides, I'm about out of my friend, the minced garlic. Aww. I'm going to actually put a little water in here to get it all. I've done that last little bit, and since I'm making it with water anyway. There. Whoops. Still some in the top. There we go. Cut up 1 onion, which I'll do it off camera. The scallions, now the white part, we're going to cut it up and throw in with it. We're saving the green part until later. So we're going to get water in this, get it on the stove, get it cooking. Stand by. Okay, pot of chicken and water with garlic, salt, and I forgot a little bit of pepper. Man, there it goes. This, up to you. You like pepper? I like pepper. Not everybody likes pepper. Do what you want. Okay, crank it up on high. The white part of the onion that I cut up. Well, I say white parts, the white onion and the white part of the scallion. See, I'd saved the green part. We'll put that in later. Now, there's nothing to do but one thing. We wait. Okay, you see here how the chicken is boiling. Now, you want to get the skin off. And it's really hot, so you don't want to be grabbing it. So I try to get it with my tongs while it's in the boiling water. There, see? You want to try to get all the skin off of there. We're throwing it out. Eventually we're going to pull this chicken out and start tearing it apart. And like I said, it's going to be hot. It's been sitting in boiling water all this time. So that's never fun. Anyway, once the chicken is good and boiled, we take it out, and then we'll dump rice into this water. Now, if you remember my earlier shows when I talked about how to make rice, 2 cups of rice, or 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice. So, however much water you have, you got to try to estimate half as much rice. If you don't put in enough rice, then it'll be a little soupy, and that's fine. But if you put in too much rice, you run out of water and the rice is still cooking and it gets, well, thick and not quite done all the way, and it's not as good. So a little too little is better than a little too much. Okay, just to kind of help it boil through a little bit more, I'm going to kind of cut it up a bit. And a big thick piece of chicken, expose the inside to the heat. It'll cook quicker and more thoroughly. Like I said, we're going to be tearing this all apart anyway. Don't want to go pulling your chicken out thinking it's done, and you know, blood concussion, you know. Yeah, see? Still red in the middle. Don't want that. Okay, so I'm going to take the chicken out. Let it sit and cool at least a little bit so I can cut it up, tear it up without, you know, destroying my fingers. It'll be a lot easier because I did a lot of the tearing up while I was in, you know, still here. There we go. Okay, here's all my chicken. Now, earlier at the beginning of the video when I was laying out the list of ingredients, what's the one thing I forgot? What are we making? Chicken and rice. Yeah, I forgot to list rice. Okay, so I'm going to guesstimate. I'm looking at the amount of water in the pot, and I'm going to guesstimate 2 cups of rice. Maybe not even quite 2 cups, a little less. Okay, so if you remember the magic formula for rice, 2 cups of water, 1 cup of rice, and 17 minutes. There you go. So we'll let that run, and then this will cool down. That's good and hot. And I've already cut up the scallions. When this is just about done, I'll dump them in with it.
Later.
Okay. You set these scallions aside. I get started on the chicken. Pork. That's much better. Okay, we're cooking chicken. We obviously need to stir it. So, my favorite spoon. So when the rice is just about ready, I'll dump in the chicken and I'll dump in the scallions and then let it cook for about 2 more minutes maybe, and it'll be ready to serve. Okay, so we're down to a little less than 5 minutes remaining. So I'll go ahead and dump the chicken in with it. It's getting pretty close to done. Another couple of minutes and I'll dump in the scallions. Okay, we're down to about 2 minutes. So, scallions. The reason I didn't put them in earlier, just don't want them really cooked down too much. I like to keep some of the scallion flavor. And it's also a good idea to keep stirring it while you're cooking it. Make sure it doesn't, you know, burn on the bottom, stick on the bottom, whatever. Okay, 2-minute warning. It is just about ready. Okay, and there it is. Time's up. Now, full disclosure, I did add a little bit more water while it was cooking. Remember what I said about you have to guesstimate water versus amount of rice? Yeah, it was just a little bit short. Yeah, even if you measure it out ahead of time, as it's cooking the chicken and all that, the water level is going to go down. So you got to kind of eyeball it. So, see it hot and steamy. Still a nice consistency. It's not runny or soupy, and it's not too hard. And yeah, good hot and fresh. Well, there you have it, folks. That's, yeah, well, you can see how hot it is. That's a lot of good flavor. So on that happy, healthy, and delicious note, good seeing you.